Katie here today, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit more about kind of the nitty-gritty of self-love, things that we might not normally consider to be part of self-love, and things that a lot of us have questions about. So one of them is, Nicole and I are always saying it's good to be gentle with yourself, be compassionate with yourself, a lot of people, including us, believe in these sort of mantras of saying, I love and accept myself. But then some of us wonder, well, what about when I'm actually doing something that's bad or that I don't like or that I want to change? How does that make sense to just say, I love and accept myself? Isn't that letting myself off the hook? Well, yes and no, it kind of depends. And it is true that oftentimes if you're being really hard on yourself, if you are criticizing yourself a lot, you're probably also letting yourself off the hook at the same time. We don't really think of it that way, but actually that is the way it works. So what you want to do is you want to be aware of when you have this internal voice that's criticizing everything and criticizing your actions and the way you look and, anything about you. And you want to take a look at that and notice, okay, first of all, let's notice this inner critic voice and kind of take a pause and let's, forgive ourselves for thinking that way. First of all, you don't want to be more hard on yourself about being hard on yourself. We've all done that. And you do want to, maybe remind yourself, no, I love and accept myself. It's okay. I'm just a human. I make mistakes. But then you want to look at, here's the thing, is sometimes we get into these cycles. And the reason why is because sometimes it is something that we do actually want to change, but we're just kind of going in circles and circles, and it's like this feedback loop where, for example, for me, like one thing I am improving right now is I've decided, I don't want to gossip or judge other people. So what happens is we'll pick something like that we don't really like, and then we'll keep doing it over and over again without actually putting in the effort to change it. And then we keep criticizing ourselves over and over again because we haven't changed it. And so that can be kind of a self-deprecating trap. But there's another type where we might just feel bad about ourselves because we think we should be a certain way or, someone else said we should be a certain way. So we want to distinguish between those two things. So you always want to look at it and say, this thing that I don't like or this thing that I'm being hard on myself about, is it something I should really actually be looking at, or is it something that I just need to let go of and accept about myself? So an example would be like I have this mole right here on my forehead. And I never thought about it, but I had an ex-boyfriend who said he didn't like it. So for a while I was just like kind of looking in the mirror, not liking my mole. Well, that's an example where I just need to love and accept myself. I don't need to like get rid of the mole, okay? But the gossiping and judging is something that I want to quote unquote get rid of. Now, am I ever going to fully get rid of it? No, I'm a human. It's going to keep popping up. So, but it is something that I do want to look at. So to use the analogy of like a parent, you can be your own parent. So say, this little kid, he comes home from school with a bad grade. There's different parents that are going to react differently. Some of them are going to just sort of not really do anything and maybe get a little bit mad, but then next thing you know, the kid's going out for ice cream, he's not grounded or anything. Other parents might be really harsh, yell, ground the child, be really kind of mean. But then we look at like this more healthy sort of parenting style where you are still being compassionate and loving towards the child, but you also are holding them accountable and actually taking actionable steps towards changing their behavior and kind of expressing to them, hey, I still love you, but I'm, upset that you got an F and we're going to work on this together. So that's how you want to talk to yourself. You don't want to be berating yourself or yelling at yourself in your mind when you do something that you don't really like. You want to stop, you want to forgive yourself, you want to give yourself some love, but then you also, if it's something that you truly do want to change, you want to then start taking steps towards improving the situation. Because many of us, we want to have a reason to be mad at ourselves, so instead of actually doing anything about it, we just beat ourselves up over it. So I hope that kind of clears things up. There's kind of a nuance with this, and I think, one trick would be, if you're not really sure whether it's something you want to improve or not, is think about how you would feel if this thing changed. Would it make you feel better about yourself, or is it really just something that other people are telling you that you should change about yourself? So, I'd like you guys to take a moment and think about one thing that you beat yourself up for. Write it down and see if you can determine whether or not it's something that you actually need to change or something that you just need to accept, because it's just part of that beautiful human side of you. We all have a mole or a role or something that we don't really like, but that we don't actually need to change. So I want you to think of one thing that you can love and accept about yourself. All right. Write it below in the comments if you're feeling brave today, and share this video with anyone who you think might need a little extra boost, a little bit of clarity on how to love themselves just a little bit more. All right, bye.